The 2-year cell phone theory. It's happened to all of us. You buy a brand new phone, it's lightning fast, battery life is top-notch, and for the first couple of years, everything works perfectly. But then suddenly things start to go downhill. Phones freezing, apps crashing, batteries that barely last a day. Coincidence or something more deliberate? Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into a conspiracy that affects millions of us. Are phone companies purposely sabotaging our devices after 2 years? Stick around to find out. To start, let's talk about the notorious Batterygate scandal from 2017. If you haven't heard of it, Apple was found to be slowing down older iPhones. Their reason? To preserve battery life on aging devices. But many felt like it was just a clever excuse to push people toward buying newer models. Apple ended up paying hundreds of millions in settlements, but this opened up a larger conversation. Are other companies doing the same thing, just more subtly? Apple was caught, but that doesn't mean they're the only ones doing it. Many phone manufacturers have similar patterns of behavior, whether it's through software updates or hardware limitations. Do other companies just do a better job at hiding it? And why does this always seem to happen around the 2-year mark? Now, let's look at the common signs. Most users report seeing the same problems right after about 2 years. The phone slows down, the battery drains rapidly, and software becomes glitchy. It was like clockwork. I'd had my phone for exactly 2 years and suddenly, the battery life was garbage. I thought it was just me, but then I realized all my friends had the same issue. I upgraded, and immediately, the difference was night and day. Why should my old phone suddenly stop working so well? Are these just coincidences, or are the companies doing this on purpose? Let's dive deeper into how software updates, batteries, and other factors could be manipulated. One of the main culprits? Software updates. As new features are added, they require more power and processing speed. That's great for the newest phones, but what about older models? Software updates are designed with the latest hardware in mind. Older devices simply can't keep up with the increasing demands, which leads to lagging performance. Let's talk about planned obsolescence, the practice of designing products with an artificially shortened lifespan to push customers to buy new ones. This has been a hot topic in industries like appliances and automobiles, and now many believe it's happening in the tech world. In the early 20th century, light bulbs were designed to last for decades, but as companies realized they weren't selling enough, they started producing bulbs that would burn out much faster. Could phone companies be doing the same thing? Planned obsolescence is difficult to prove in court, but the idea that companies are making products with built-in expiration dates is not far-fetched. In fact, France has passed laws against it, and other countries are considering similar actions. We spoke to a former tech industry insider who wanted to remain anonymous. Here's what they had to say. There are definitely discussions in the industry about how to ensure continued sales. It's not as straightforward as deliberately sabotaging phones, but there are certainly ways to make older models seem less appealing without directly breaking them. Is this enough to confirm a conspiracy, or is it just smart business? So, is there hard evidence of phone companies intentionally sabotaging older devices? Let's weigh the facts. Apple's Batterygate scandal proves that companies have manipulated performance in the past. Hardware naturally degrades, batteries lose capacity, and software requires more power. It's important to remember that while older devices struggle with new software, this isn't necessarily planned obsolescence. Some degradation is natural. But the timing of these issues, that's where it gets suspicious. How to fight back. Tips and tricks. So what can you do to avoid falling into the upgrade trap? Here are 5 practical ways to extend your phone's life. One of the first things to fail is the battery, but rather than buying a new phone, consider replacing your battery. A lot of third-party services can do this for a fraction of the cost of a new device. Avoiding major software updates. If your phone is a couple of years old, avoid jumping to the latest OS update unless it's critical. Many updates bring features your older phone may not be able to handle smoothly. App management. Use lightweight apps or older versions if possible. The latest versions of apps are optimized for newer hardware, and your old phone might not need all those bells and whistles. DIY repairs. If your phone starts glitching, don't be afraid to explore DIY repair options. From YouTube tutorials to repair kits, there are resources out there. Storage management. Make sure to clear out old files and manage your storage. Sometimes lag comes from a bloated phone trying to handle too much data. Is it really a conspiracy? So, are cell phone companies really sabotaging our devices after 2 years? The truth lies somewhere in the gray area between conspiracy and business strategy. Yes, companies benefit from us upgrading regularly, and yes, there are patterns that raise suspicion. But whether or not this is a coordinated effort to force us to upgrade remains unclear. What's clear, though, is that we have the power to extend the life of our devices if we take a few extra steps. What do you think? Is it a conspiracy or is it just business as usual? Drop your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more deep dives into more mysteries. Until next time, stay connected and stay informed.